Snapchat. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Teamwork.
Teamwork.
You try to know your tags, everyone.
Yeah.
You're gonna tag all of you. Why, thank you, Seth. He's right here. I got him. He's right here. He's right here. It's okay. You got him, boys. Periscope this, dude. Relax. I just periscoped so you guys can be able to see yourself. Say hello to everyone. Fantastic. We've got a bunch of viewers already. What's up? Yeah, make sure you guys tweet it. I usually say tweet the stream, and I'm like, wait, I'm not streaming. I apologize for my crappy voice. I was at EVO like 2.5 weeks ago and lost my voice because of Marvel vs. Capcom. Very irritating. Any FGCs out there? What's up? Yeah, way in the back. Awesome. Yes, I lost my voice. It's still gone, so I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm ready. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, welcome everyone to the Making Your Business panel. This is Kelly, also known as Miss Violence.
What's up?
And I'm Orlando Rios. I'm the online marketing manager for On It, also known as Alpha Brain Gaming, which you are all wearing on your
lanyards. Yeah, looking sexy.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. So we're going to talk about a bunch of different things today. So Kelly's been doing this for many years. She's made this her business. She's able to survive doing these kind of things. And hopefully you guys can learn something from that. If you want to make this your profession, hope you guys can learn something from her. And on my end, you know, we get asked for sponsors all the time. Tons. You can't even imagine the amount of sponsorships we get, requests we get a day. So I hope I can give you a little insight from our end, what we look for, the ROI we take a look at, and the measurements we kind of use to decide when we're going to sponsor somebody and all that kind of cool stuff. So with that, we're going to get started. Yeah. So to first kind of talk about this, let's talk about a little about your early career, how you got into the whole thing, and when you had your first, like, oh my god, I'm a pro moment.
The good old days, I should say. About 15 years ago, I actually got started in a little game called Magic the Gathering. And that, yes, thank you. You guys can clap, be very interactive, I love it. So I started when I was very young, actually 12 years old, and I got into MTG, and it was the greatest thing of my life. It branched me into a lot of the competitive aspects of gaming and esports in general. So it branched from a card game, then onto the wonderful PC of Counter-Strike, like 1.5. Heyo, yeah. I obviously graduated to 1.6 throughout the years and fell madly in love with shooters. They're my bread and butter. It just came natural to me. It made sense. I also shoot real-life weapons as well. Since I was 6 years old. Badass. Oh, no. And it just made sense for me to continue in shooters. And I was a very competitive human being before gaming. So it really just branched into gaming as well. So it made me super competitive. After Magic the Gathering and Counter-Strike, I went to Rainbow Six 3 as well as Black Arrow and started competing on a game site called GameBattles.com. And it was the greatest thing to me because that's really all we had in America. If you guys know, we didn't have too much esports presence as much as Asia and Europe did in Counter-Strike as well as StarCraft 1. And that's all I had. So I took it and ran with it. I played through games such as, like I said, the Rainbow series, Ghost Recon Island Thunder, Splinter Cell, Call of Duty, Halo, and Gears of War. So those are my main games. And after game battles, I started to attend events like Major League Gaming, World Cyber Games, as well as other local LANs. And I got my first big win at like 17 years old in a Halo 2 free-for-all. I was so happy. I won $5,000, and with that $5,000, I bought a new television because 2 TVs were in, and I hated it. So, but that was the deal. That was what you did. And after that, I guess it's just kind of gone from professional gaming to now a brand ambassador for companies such as Albert Rain and On It, and being a host for places like CBS and GameSpot. And it even branched me into reality series like WCG Ultimate Gamer and The Controller. So it's kind of been a wild ride, but through gaming, I've had the pleasure of doing it all.
So with that, as you started to grow and you realized, hey, I might have something here, this may be something I could do for a living, how do you, I guess you're gonna have resistance from probably family, from probably parents who say, no, you need to go to college, you need to get a real job. This is play. This is not business.
Yeah.
So how did you deal with that interaction with your parents?
Parents weren't happy at all, but they also had 2 other boys. My brothers were also pro gamers back in the day on Rainbow, and so they had to deal with 3 kids standing up to them saying, "No, we're gonna do gaming," and they're like, "No, you're gonna do your sports and academics." So it was actually extremely hard. It was very discouraging as a player and as a child, in my opinion, to tell your kid, like, no, you can't do that. Okay, like, why not? And it was because of the very small presence in esports in America. But I think my favorite person to trump is my mom, but I think my dad really took to gaming, he understood it. He was the one who bought all the consoles growing up anyways. So he really was like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. But then he saw me like for 1 year play Halo, and as much as I played and then that $5,000 win, that was when he changed. He was like, all right, all right. Yeah, he saw the TV, the flat screen that I brought home, so he was like, all right. So it was an instant mentality change for my parents. Even my mom understood, kind of, but to this day, I will not lie, I will never tell a lie. My mom still doesn't believe that I've made this my business. Shocking. So don't let anyone, I don't care who it is, tell you you can't do that, because you can.
Persistence in time.
Yeah, no, she literally will text me like once a month and say, so do you still make money?
Yeah.
How do you live?
Yeah, exactly.
I have a bigger house than her, by the way, so she can suck it. Thank you.
Starting off, your brand is so important. The username you choose to use, that's going to be yours forever.
Pretty much, yeah, and changing is not a smart idea.
Yeah, so you're Mrs. Violence, Mary's Violence.
Yes.
Let's let them know a little bit how you picked your brand, and out of all your years of seeing other people try to make it this business too, give them some tips about building your brand, choosing your username, all that type of stuff.
Oh yeah, because I've gone through like 900 gamer tags. Like one was no joke, get off my Gine for Halo. So if you ever played against her, that was me. And then we had get off my Gine, please, and now. So it was great. But obviously that's not something you'd want to brand yourself as, or you do. It's okay. But something like that obviously would never take. Someone like On It, they would never take you seriously.
Probably not.
Yeah, and I'm sure there are kids out there that would like to, look up to people like myself and others. So I came up with Mrs. Violence just because due to the sole fact I love violent video games, I love guns, and it's awesome. So it just made sense to me, but I will assure you, it was actually a bad name. This word, violence, it's not good. So I'll just use myself as a great example. One year Microsoft wanted to work with me, and they saw my name and said no, instantly, right on my name. So they didn't care about my resume or anything like that. They were just like, sorry, your name is just too vulgar. Weird, because I was gonna go host a COD tournament, which is violent as all heck. So it was very awkward, but just that one thing can really make or break you. And yeah, I was pretty discouraged, and I was like, damn, I just spent 10 years on this name and it really didn't even help, like, at all. So when it comes to picking a name, you guys want something true to yourself too. It could be your name. My assistant is Kat Conti. That's what she goes on Twitch TV. So that's her gamer tag. It's pretty easy to remember. It's just her name. But it's also like very personal. So you don't know. Like, and that's what gaming is. We kind of all go to relieve stress or hang out with our friends or make a career out of it, whatever it may be. You want to kind of develop that other personality, or that like incognito-ness. Yeah. So that's what I do. I mean, Mrs. Violence is a whole other human being. She could be sitting right here. You never know. And it's a different like intake of personality for me. So I would suggest finding something that's appropriate kind of for all ages, because gaming is for everyone. There's no wrong gamer. There's no right gamer. We all come in different shapes and sizes, and I love it. I love gaming. So I think it's very important how you brand yourself, and whether it's your name or gamer tag, you really want to think about who you're impacting overall, no matter what.
And on that note, I guess probably a lot of people probably wouldn't know where to even start. Okay, you got your brand.
Yeah.
You know you want to do this. You told your parents, I don't care what you think.
Yeah.
The most obvious thing to most people is like, oh, let's start getting into tournaments, right? So how do you even get into tournaments? Like, what's the procedure?
Well, I started online just because that's all we had. We didn't even have LAN capabilities, for God's sake, in the games that I was choosing to go into. So you would map out like okay, so like let's say League of Legends. If any of you guys are League fans, raise it up for one. For two, it's a really weird process to become a League pro. You actually have to grind a ridiculous ranked system that's against you to be a pro, or to be considered pro. For me, that's ridiculous. Why would I play a pub game to prove my pro status, right? So for shooters and stuff like that, I just went through online tournaments and meeting all these cool people on forums and interacting, giving my input to developers as well via forums. But I'd say that's the cheapest and safest route for anyone that wants to get into pro gaming. It would be like, check online. There's free tournaments all the time. And you win them, and sometimes people, they're like, oh, well, here's some swag. Okay, well, you just won a free $300 headset, right? Like, there's no wrong to that one, But other than that, I'd say really just check your resources and try and see like what other people have done as well. Ask around, the pros will help you. And I feel like back then they kind of shunned fans because they were the top people in the world in their mind. But now that gaming is just exponentially bigger, we can't act like that, and sponsors won't tolerate that. If any of you guys know, that there's just no way. I'm pretty sure you guys would drop me in a second. Like, I mistreated any of you, or just blatantly ignored somebody. It's not nice, and I think we were leading into online, interactions.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
So, yeah.
And so there's a lot of time and dedication you have to put in. Would you say you put it all towards, hey, I'm going to be the best in this specific game?
No, not me.
So you spread the
I'm
field.
too many. I'm too many games to name, unfortunately. Okay. But all the shooters, anything with a gun in it, I've pretty much competed and placed in as well.
Okay.
But yeah.
And you also mentioned, we were talking yesterday, you also mentioned that it's okay to go get lessons and to spend that time and make it that investment if you're serious about it, that there's pros out there that will actually go one-on-one with you and teach you.
Yeah, and I know people laugh about that, like, how could you take lessons in gaming? Well, I've given lessons in gaming, and it is a one-on-one for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on how much time that people pay for. But it's very, like, personal time as well, and it's really inspiring, though. At the same exact time, I'm like, yeah. So it's great for us to, like, see what you guys want to be taught or something like that, or, like, what the upcoming crowd is looking forward to and stuff like that. But yeah, I took lessons, Gears of War 1, from Takedown, Ryan Watson, $100 for like 7 lessons actually. And I was horrible at sniping, oh my God, I sucked so bad. And after 7 lessons, I became one of the most feared in sniping, in not just pubs, but the pro scene. So it was really, really cool to feel that like threat like on me. I was like, haha, yeah, be scared when I grab that sniper now.
So, and now, recently, in the last several years, there's been a huge growth with Twitch. So there's another
way to interact with us pros.
revenue opportunity.
People, yeah.
So how do you become a Twitch partner? How do you use it to your advantage, and what are the ways you can make some money out doing that?
Oh, Twitch, I love you. Twitch partnership is a grueling task, actually. People think it's kind of like just walk in, stream for a couple days, and you get partnered. No, not anymore, actually. It used to be. But Twitch is one of the greatest websites, in my opinion. You become your own entertainer, or you find someone that is individually entertaining for you. I don't even watch TV anymore. I don't have cable. Why? Because I watch Twitch TV. There's so much better shows on Twitch TV that you'll ever find on TV, in my opinion. And to become a part of that, though, you don't even have to be a broadcaster at first. You can just watch and be a spectator or a fan or whatever it may be. And you can just take all of what the streamer is putting in front of you and use it to your advantage. So see their lighting, listen to their microphone, right? Check their graphics. And most of the time, we list, like what our equipment is, like our capture cards or our microphone or camera, or our lighting setup. I have 2 giant lights that like beam into my brain for like 10 hours a day. But that's something to take into account, as well as the money to go into Twitch. You don't just buy a capture card, which would be the easiest thing to do. And I know you can stream from Xbox and PlayStation 4 now, which is really, really innovative and helps the broadcasters. But again, it is taking that huge extra step, buying this camera, buying the PC alone, if you want a PC stream, is way too much money in my opinion. But it is a great way to, get your name out there and get your footage out there as well, because you can go directly from Twitch to YouTube. You can integrate your streams right to YouTube. And that's just another ad revenue that you can just bring on. And I don't know how much I get paid really in YouTube, because it's not my biggest ad revenue placement. I don't really like YouTube all that much, the deals they kind of give out. It's very iffy, and it's apparently like a popularity contest. Twitch TV is not like that. It's literally everyone has the same deal, unless you were like on JTV, 10 years ago. But yeah, everyone has the same deal. It's a very equal opportunity, and you're treated like family instead of like a random on YouTube. I just feel like that's how it is on YouTube, and there's scouts and stuff like that. You can be scouted for different partnerships and networks. I'm currently with Maker and Polaris, as well as Disney. And through them, I got to meet a lot of great people via YouTube as well and stuff like that. So you can branch from one website to the other, and it's quite flawless.
And on that same note, social media is so important. I don't think I have to tell any of you guys that. That's an obvious thing. And I'll just say something really quick. From the brand side of things, that's #1. I mean, yeah, and it's tough to get new followers, tough to get new legit followers, but we're gonna be able to tell if they're not legit followers, #1. And #2, you have to build an audience first before you can come to a sponsor. Absolutely. Like, we get sponsor requests all the time from people that haven't even started yet. Like, they're like, oh, I had this great idea, I haven't built my website yet, but this is my plan. The plan may be great, but we can't take the risk with the minimal amount of marketing dollars we have to put it towards something that hasn't been built yet. You have to build it first. Absolutely. So you got to put that work in and get that social media following going, engage with people, and that you got to do first. So how did you have over 30,000 followers on Twitter? How did they make that happen? It's tough feat.
It is. It's insane, but I think it's like when you reach out to other people, companies, and keeping up with them is like super crucial. Or even just snapping a photo of their logo, or like you like selfieing with their logo, they'll retweet it. That one retweet can give you at least like 10 follows, right? So I think like Rainbow today was just going huge on Twitter, and I retweeted I think every single tweet, and that I'm sure just showed so many people about the new Siege game coming out, which I'm very passionate about. And that's just one thing that just one retweet or one favorite, one photo. But I guess for me, with Twitter has been just sole engagement and ignoring a lot of hate. And a lot of people respect for that. But when you flood timelines or you spam, it's probably the worst thing to do if you want to get a follow from your favorite celebrity or streamer. Like Michelle Phan is Michelle's a makeup artist on YouTube. She built her empire about 10 years ago when I was starting mine. And I looked to her for inspiration, and she was that person that was like, listen, Kelly, I like you, but don't tweet me that much. And I was like, dang, okay. So I just kept commenting her, YouTube and stuff like that. But that was when I got my like wake up call, like, don't bug them too much. There's showing support, and then there's bothering a human being. We are human beings, just like you fine folks, and I would never bother you and nudge you when you're like, hey, no, just going crazy on them. But that's how we feel it is on Twitter. So always kind of like watch your tweet count, I guess, and your follower to like your following to follower ratio. I don't know if that even matters. I don't really see it as a care in the world. But if you do want to like actually read Rainbow Six's tweets or Onnit's tweets, you know, if you're like following 1,000 people, you're not going to see their tweets ever. So it'd be hard to reach that information and to share that information as well.
Yeah. Cool. So with building your social media audience and starting to make an impression on the world, you're going to have the haters, the people that come after you on social media and call you nasty things and tell you you're an idiot, all types of bad stuff. What's the best way to deal with that? Because, you know, as a brand, you know, we see everything. If we're giving you money, we see everything.
I loved your text the other day.
Yeah.
Kelly, are you okay?
Exactly. It happened the other day.
Just the other day. Yeah.
And so we have to check in on it. That's just the nature of things. We have to make sure that we're cool, our representation is cool.
Yeah.
So what's the best way to deal with those people?
Blocking them, completely ignoring, don't ever once reply, because I make that mistake, but I really need to take my own advice. But I've been building this thing called a brick wall, for about 15 years. Being a female on the internet is horrible, and it's a really interesting life. But especially in gaming, you know, we were the minority, women were the minority, now we're not, but I was definitely never seen another girl, I've never seen another girl until Halo 2 came out. So I can assure you, it was weird. It was very weird, and you get a lot of hate, and no matter what you do, someone's gonna hate on you. So whether I am a pro gamer, or whether I quit pro gaming to become a model, or a cosplayer, and a brand ambassador, I get hate no matter what. I still have people to this day like, you should be competing, stop modeling, and yada yada yada, and I go, thanks for the input, smiley face, blocked. I got the last word, I won. I drink your milkshake. I drink it up. There will be blood, sorry. Yes, there will be blood fans, hell yeah. But yes, it's like that, and it's always been like that since Xbox Live and you know, PC gaming and stuff like that. And like I said, I don't use all chat in League of Legends. I don't even give them the benefit of the doubt to tell me I suck at laning or, you know, CSing and stuff like that. So it's literally all ignore, ignore, ignore. Their opinion doesn't matter. Your opinion matters on yourself. If you want to change something, change it. Like, it's up to you. It's not up to them ever.
Treat yourself like a brand. You know, you would never see someone like Nike or something reply to somebody in a negative way.
Yeah.
You know, no matter how many bad things they say.
Why did you get rid of that shoe? It was so great.
Yeah.
Well, because we have other shoes. Blocked. No, I'm sure they don't even block. They're just like, don't even reply, right? Because it's Nike. But it's the same thing. It's like literally like, why even reply? There's no reason to.
Yeah, and I'll say from Onnit and Alpha Brain, the Alpha Brain gaming thing is still new to us. We've been doing it just for about a year now, but we've always had Alpha Brain as Onnit. We have tons of followers, and not everybody says nice things. And so I've been doing social media for a decade now, maybe, back in the MySpace days. So, you know, like, there's gonna be so many people that say so many bad things, and they're gonna pick at you, and do crazy things to try to get your attention. But you can't fall into that.
They'll make 10-minute videos talking smack
They will make
on you.
videos.
They will make videos because
Yeah.
it's that important to them to hate on you, and it's really, really annoying.
Yeah.
And at the same time,
Yeah.
if they link you or they have people link you, it's literally like, all right, well then I'm blocking you, then I'm blocking you. And if you get sick of blocking, then get off social media.
Yeah.
Go outside, play a game, do something, go ignore it.
Yeah.
Get away from social media. I do it all the time. When the other day, it was so intense I had to leave. I literally had to like get off my setup, watch TV, and that's what I did because it's like 113 degrees in Vegas, so it's really, really hot. I don't want to die. But yeah, so it's because I will.
Texas is worse.
Yes, I'm like experiencing this wonderful humidity. But it's literally like that. Just get up, drop your phone. Does someone have a gun to your head to read it? No, right? Okay, cool. So just put it down, walk away, and ignore it.
Yeah, don't let the fury of the moment get the best of you, because
Yeah.
it can end your career.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how many times have you seen a brand on Twitter just overreact because the person who was ever behind it, who's probably somebody just like me, may have had a bad day,
Yep.
and decided to retaliate, and you see it on the news, you see it everywhere, and it's a tough thing to get over. So, you know, if you're in the heat of the moment, just take a break, relax,
Literally,
get
and
over
the
it.
best with online gaming, or this career that I've chosen, there's no one near me. I literally work downstairs, and I can just shut it off. I can go away, and I feel like you can't do that if you work, like I used to work at GameStop. If a customer comes in and flips out on you and is like, I want to return this game. There's blood. There's violence. There's hookers. My kid's 8. Why would you sell him this? Like, oh, you know what? I didn't sell him that. I sold you that, but it's cool. I'll refund you, blah, blah, blah. But it pissed me off so much that I couldn't keep a straight face after, and I didn't want to take my aggression out on the next customer, because it's not their fault. So I was like, hey, Tim, I'm gonna go take a break. I need it. That lady pissed me off. So I took my break, and I came back, it was just 10 times more positive, and totally forgot about her,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, once you got all this tightened up and you've come to a point, like I said earlier, you can't just go to a sponsor and try to get money right away. Most of the time they're going to tell you no.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age, we need instant results on stuff. So when you get to that point where you're ready to start going to sponsors, you've built a little bit of social media following, you have some history they can go back on. When you go to your sponsor, and this is very important, you have to believe in that product.
Oh, yeah.
We can tell when you're just trying to get a paycheck. And that's a serious, and there is companies out there, I'm not going to speak for all companies, but there is companies out there that will just give you a paycheck just because you have a name and a following, and that's it. But as budgets get shrunken, it's, we're only gonna sponsor those people that are real.
That can only last so long too. Is the fakeness of certain people? It'll only last so long. They'll be like, oh, we'll sponsor you for a year, even if you don't like our product.
Yeah. So talk about
how do you base your future on a temporary
for sure
budget, right?
Yeah,
or
if you don't really understand what's going on.
Exactly.
So tell them a little bit about some of the sponsorships you've had in the past and the present, how those relationships started, and how you kept them going.
Ooh, well, I'd say one of my favorite sponsors, besides you guys, was Red Baron Pizza. Sorry, it's just so good. It was great to have sent to my house. Wonderful. Thanks.
Delivery.
It was actually just coupons, and I got it for free at my local store. But keeping sponsorships and actually getting them and believing in the product. Like, I told them flat out, I'm allergic to cheese, and they were like, so how is this gonna work? And I'm like, I don't know, but you already sent my first paycheck, so. But it was really weird because we were just kind of brought on 6 of us through a tournament, a Max Payne tournament, for 10 grand. It was just something I got invited to by Major League Gaming, and because I kept up that friendship, I guess, with MLG, and I always tweeted their tournaments, even though I'm not involved with certain things, I will support the bigger picture, and that really helped me with the sponsorships. So they were like, that's fine, you can be allergic to cheese, just peel it off, right? I'm like, yes. Yeah, but I'll eat all the pepperonis. And they're like, that's fine. So other sponsorships, just like them, and I was just flat out honest. And obviously it didn't continue with them. I'm no longer sponsored by Red Baron Pizza, fortunately. And that led to another sponsorship through Major League Gaming, actually, and Gunner Optics. Any of you guys know of Gunners?
Yep.
Yeah, my favorite. They are one of those people that genuinely believed in me. The first photo I took with Gunner Optics on. They knew I had problems with my migraines and my gaming and my headaches, and they worked instantly. I bought them at a tournament right then and there, $200 pair of halogens, Jesus. And see, gaming's not cheap, especially pro gaming. There's a lot of ins and outs that we'll definitely get into. But yeah, so keeping that realism with Gunner through the past, oh my God, what year are we in? 4 years, I guess, has been true. I've honestly had nothing like bad to say about Gunner Optics, and I'm real when I talk to people. I'm not trying to sell you. I won't even tell you guys my code because I don't care. I just want to tell you how good they are and how they've changed my life. And I mean, I'm not going to talk about Gunners, obviously. If you guys want to talk about Gunners, I have videos on it. But yeah, they're true, and he's right. They will see right through you, like reading a child's book. And that's how they've dropped a couple other people. Yeah. They've dropped a couple people because of how fake they were, and like, oh, just send me a paycheck. And they go, we're not actually sponsoring you. We'd like to just give you a link. You know, you sell our product, we'll give you a part back. That's more of an affiliation. It's not a sponsorship. And if you claim, when you're an affiliate and you claim sponsor, they see that as well.
Yeah.
They find it very awkward because that means
It's a little weird.
yeah, they're like, wait, we don't pay you, do we? Like,
Yeah.
whoa. Because a sponsorship is like a paycheck every single month, and an affiliate is temporary income. So it's based off of you and your branding again. It goes right back to branding. And it's like a full circle. So whether you're affiliated or sponsored, it's all going to come into play with how real you are and also your branding. Yeah.
And on that note, you know, once you start making money, and like, so you start doing these tournaments, you win a tournament, you make a huge chunk of cash, $20,000, $30,000.
Split 5 ways. No.
Like, some people win like $200,000 sometimes. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. I've never got that much money at once in my entire life. I probably never will. But money management.
Oh yeah.
You know, how much of the money you win do you put back into your business?
Wow. Well, I won about $21,000 on the controller Battlefield 3 a couple years ago, and I can assure you 19,000 of it went right back into my business. And it was like $2,000 for me to play with. Whoop-de-doo. It all went to clothes. So traveling a lot, and you go to different regions. It's very cold in Boston, okay? Especially in December. So I had to buy like, you know, crazy amounts of jackets and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of it goes right back into my setup and improving myself as a whole, not just my stream, which was at the time pretty important to me, but it was also my presence and my appearance with GameSpot. I started to do interviews with CBS, and it was like really, really cool, but I also had to like wear and buy heels like this and wear them at tournaments that I was hosting, and I'm like, I've never bought something like this in my life. How much is this? Like 50 bucks? I was like, damn, okay. So that's what I started to think of. But like even stuff like this is not for fun. I'm not going out to a club. It was literally because GameSpot hired me and I wanted to make a really good impression and be that above and beyond person, and I didn't care how much I spent on, you know, going above and beyond every time. So yeah, I would say the majority of my winnings have always gone into improving myself as a whole in my career.